So in this video we'll look at repairing a Maco GTS mechanism using the components from the Refurb kit. The GTS is the taller case, rectangular case without the rounded corner, and there is some confusion about identifying CTS versus GTS cases. In some of our other videos we've looked at using Refurb kits to repair CTS locks, which are the ones with the rounded bottom corner and the smaller gearbox height. The GTS series is this taller design, and the easy ways to identify it is you'll usually find this sticker still attached, and on the sticker, part of the code of what's written on the sticker should include the letters G-TS to help you identify this as a GTS series lock. The CTS cases will read CTS. Also, this silver latch release, metal silver latch release as opposed to the slider, and the gearbox height are what helps you identify that this is a GTS series lock. So to remove the gearbox from the GTS, we have 3 T20 Torx screws. So we'll start by removing those. Lock is in the unlocked position, and this is a 2 hook, and there are apertures on the faceplate for anti-lift bolts, but this one doesn't have anti-lift bolts. This is a 2 hook Maco GTS series lock. So these are T20 Torx screws, and we'll remove the 3 of these to release the centre case. Maco locks, even when they're in the door, you get a big clue with the split latch. Not many locks feature that. So if you see a split latch mechanism, immediately start thinking Maco. So the 3 centre case screws all the same. Latch and deadbolt centre case removed, and we can move on to our top hook case. These are large hook cases. Some of these locks in the CTS series have small hook cases. This one is a large hook case. Same case as I use for the hook and anti-lift, but this one's only a hook version. And again, 2 T20 Torx screws to be removed. We'll end up with 7 of these screws in total, and they are all the same length and size screw. So once this is removed, our drive rod for the top of our mechanism is not captive, so that will come away. So just take note of the way round that was in relation to our cases, and we can move on to our bottom case. Again, 2 T20 Torx screws. And again, once our screws are out and our case comes away, we'll find that the drive rod is again not captive, so it will fall away from the mechanism. So same as before, we're going to take note of how that drive rod was positioned in relation to our cases. If you have chute bolt extensions, these are usually paired with rollers, so they're usually captive to the mechanism, so they should stay put. And we can grab our components from our Refurb kit to refurbish our mechanism. So our refurb kit in this case consists of our centre case, which is a latch and deadbolt centre case, and our two hook cases, which are upwards hooks, one top, one bottom, and these are quite large hook cases and quite a large centre case. So we shall begin the rebuild with the centre case on its back, latch and deadbolt facing up. And we'll lay our faceplate alongside it. Everything in the unlock position. We'll need to get our sections of drive rod and place those as they came off, which was like this. And what you'll find is that there's a T section on the bottom drive rod, which is going to sit over this lug underneath the deadbolt. That's where we want that to end up positioned. So this notch of the T section over this lug. That's how that needs to end up. And our top drive rod has a side notch which is going to sit over this lug at the top end of the gearbox. So here's our lug, here's our notch, and that's going to sit over there with this fixing lug here coming through this aperture, this elongated aperture. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to sit our faceplate over the top and line up our latch and deadbolt apertures. And don't forget, we have to position the little black piece of the latch so that it will go through. Once that's in position, we'll get one of our screws ready for our top fixing. And we'll lift the top enough to get our drive rod underneath and sit that drive rod where it needs to be, and use our faceplate to clamp that into position and get our top fixing in there to hold the notch against that lug. We'll then put our fixing screw above the latch, but don't fully tighten this yet. We're just going to get this one in position. Get that in a few threads, and then we'll repeat at the bottom what we did at the top. So we're going to put our drive rod, separate our faceplate from the gearbox. And we're going to get our drive rod in underneath and sit that T section over the lug. And then use the faceplate to clamp it in position. You might need to give it a couple of goes so that you're sure it's seated correctly. Once that's where it needs to be, we'll fully tighten this one first. And then our bottom fixing here. So that's our centre case and our drive rods where they need to be. And we can move on to our top hook case. So if we've got a chute bar extension, that needs to be down here. And here's the top end of our drive rod. So we can see from the position of that we're going to line up our black square or anti-lift bolt with this smaller aperture and our hook with the bigger aperture, and then that will tell us which way round we need to be. And we can see that these two lugs are going to fit in this T-section with the two notches, and these two lugs are going to fit inside these two notches of this T-section. So we'll turn our mechanism over, offer that up, and they should go in quite easily because everything should be retained in the right positions relative to each other. Again, two T20 Torx screws. For that one. And exact same process with our bottom hook case. So we can see from the apertures where all of this will be positioned. These two lugs in this notch and this notch, these two lugs in these two notches. So turn it over, lay it on top. And our last two T20 Torx screws. One. And we have refurbished our Maco GTS 2-hook lock mechanism.